with once again Dane from the League of Inches crew jumped on board to help us look at and chat about the Raiders, and he was pretty keen to get this up and done. And Dane, what interests you about the Raiders?
Oh, look, I just think they're just one of these outfits that they're probably underestimated a little bit. And if you look at some previous seasons, you look at the leaderboard and you see the Raiders are on top, and they've only dropped one game, or they haven't dropped any games, and then they sort of fade away a bit, and they come back really strong towards the back end of the season. They go a little bit undetected, I think, and they've got a really strong outfit. They turn up to play every week. They play 80 minutes of football. Got some good strike across the park, good goal kicker. I mean, there's not a lot to not like about them, and I really enjoy watching them play, even though I'm a Roosters supporter. But I don't know. There's so many things that I like about the Raiders outfit and the club in general.
100%. And just on that, who do you find have made a couple of signings? Who's their best signing?
Oh, look, I'd have to say Ryan James. When he's fit, he's a really good meter eater. So I think he's going to hopefully he finds his form pretty quickly at the start of the season and finds his way into the team. And I think he's going to be fresh. He's going to be ready to go. Really prove himself to the club. And I think he's probably the key signing for the Raiders for 2021.
I've got to agree there. Ryan James, massive signing for that club. Adds to a huge amount of depth in the forward pack they've got this year. And for Ryan James himself, he was one of the best forwards for a number of years when he was with the Titans, and obviously last year was crippled with injury, unfortunately, and we didn't get to see him play his best footy. But Raiders, great signing. No doubt they probably got him under market value as well, just because he's coming off an injury. So brilliant signing there for the Raiders. What about your biggest loss for them for the 2020 season?
Yeah, I think I'd have to say Nick Kotrick. I think he's a really strong, explosive player. And I think he's going to be a big loss for the Raiders for this year.
Yeah, that's brilliant. He's great at getting their set started, which is a big part of the game these days. And I think they will get impacted with that. They've obviously got young Bailey Simonson waiting in the wings, so they're confident he can do the job. I actually put down John Bateman. I know that he sort of left, and he was sort of a Raiders through and through sort of player for mine, and loved the club and was passionate about it. Just the way he played, typical Englishman. Loved to play footy, which is great to watch these guys coming in that actually want to play footy, not as robotic. And I think they were so hard to defend for opposition teams. And I really think, even though they got really good forward pack this year, they will miss having John Bateman there, and just the way he goes about his football and just his character and presence on the field. So, what about a key reason you see at the moment for success for the Raiders?
Oh, look, I think it all rolls off their halves with with Williams, Hodgson, Whiten. I really think it comes off the back of that. And, Whiten, Dally M medalist. Look, I think he deserved to get it. I didn't expect him to get it, but they've just got a lot of strong quality players. They play really tough footy. They grind out that full 80 minutes. And I suppose there's a bit of a question mark over Croker, maybe missing the first few games and whatever, but he's a gun kicker. I think he's been leading goal scorer a couple of times in the NRL. I just think they've got a lot of quality, a lot of strength across the park. And, I think any club that comes up against the Raiders, when you hear that you're playing the Raiders, I really think that they just think, we've really got to fight on our hands here, and we've got to show up, and we've got to show up for 80 minutes. So, I just think it's just their overall strength across the park. You throw in your Papalis, he's just an exceptional player. He's one of my most favourite players, exciting players to watch. Just some of the stuff that he can do for a big man, unbelievable. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them run out this season. So
they're a very strong outfit, so to speak. And for mine, I actually mentioned the fact they've got such good depth in the forwards. That's a very, if you get injuries, for mine, they've got enough quality to be able to back up and have the same sort of presence on the field, even with a number of injuries, which for a club you always look to have. My other point was the fact that last year, the start of the 2020 season, they didn't get to play at home. They did miss a few home games. This year, with COVID getting sorted out much better, it looks like they're going to have a full season back at home. And I tell you what, there's not much things worse than playing Canberra at Canberra in the middle of winter. It is one of the worst road trips you can have, and most teams dread it. So that for mine is some massive reasons for success. There's almost a guaranteed 12 wins there for them just at home, and that's always gets you at least finals bound. So biggest concern for the year for the Raiders, what do you see there?
Look, biggest concern, I would just say that, any injuries, and I think Croker, I mean, I don't know who replaces him as lead kicker, whether that's Whiten or I don't even know who else can kick in the team, maybe Hodgson or something like that. And I just think overall injuries in general, and I think that's pretty much across the park for the NRL teams, really, because I mean you see a lot of injuries sort of come, and as players get older, you see these injuries and people coming back from injuries that wait to have the surgery in the off season. Just coming back fighting fit, Croker with his goal kicking abilities and high percentage, and just avoiding any other injuries. So they're probably really the only concerns. And Ricky Stewart not blowing his top.
I mentioned just sort of what you've mentioned is just the backline depth. They've got tremendous forward depth, but for mine, their backline depth just looks a little bit thin. So if they do miss a few, whether it's in origin time or injuries, things like that, it might start to impact the side a little bit. But apart from that, there's not too much there. They're looking really, really strong, which leads me to your final thoughts on the Raiders, and where do you see them finishing?
Look, I'm going to rate them. I think they can honestly, depending on what how the Storm outfit turns out and gels together without Smith and injuries again, I think they could honestly be the minor premiers, and I think they can win it. I'm going to put them as a top 2 team.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I've got them in the top 3 teams, finishing anywhere in that bracket. They're up there for mine with the Storm and the Rabbitohs for mine. Just to reiterate, it's just a really strong squad, especially in the forwards. But overall, their starting 17 is one of the best in the comp. They've all played together for a while now, which is one of the big things where you can just gel, and it's not a pre-season of getting to know people. You're just straight into it, straight off the bat. Getting to play at home, again, it's just a huge benefit for him coming into this year. And my final thought is just the fact that Whiten left 2020 in career best form, got the Dally M. Whether people agree or not with it, he was overall the best player of the year, especially in the back end of 2020. He's now got the chance to continue that form on. He's got one of the best running games in the comp, to bring that back and have that for the 2021 season. So for mine, definitely a top 3 team. It wouldn't surprise me if they go all the way, as you've just mentioned. So Raiders fans, a lot to be excited about this year. I think we've both agreed upon that. And you're probably one of the top 3 teams to beat, if not the team to beat. So good luck, Raiders. We've really enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have as well. And just don't forget to give us a like on Insta, Facebook. Also give us a shout out on the YouTube channel. Thanks, Dane. Thanks for your time. And good luck, Raiders fans.